Ready to go. Okay, this session is being recorded. Hey, welcome everybody. So my name is Bob Patel. Mitch Matsunami is right there. You can wave, say hi. There you go. We are both in charge of the technology support for Century 21 Jordan Lincoln Company in Visalia, California. So we started doing our MoxieWorks training that we do for our office. And of course, we record it because everybody wants to work virtual. And thank you to Michael Gutierrez, who's one of our owners. And also, Mike Allen, we asked him about less than a year ago if we can invite anybody in the Century 21 franchise, since what we're talking about are the same tools that apply to anybody, whether you're in Washington, New York, or California. So we do these. So hopefully there's some value. This, just to let you know, this is not a Century 21 approved training. This is just something we do for our brokerage, for our realtors. And then we do record it and put the videos onto our company YouTube channel. So I am going to put that in the chat. There is a playlist that we started creating um, called everyone MoxieWorks. So if you keep that URL down there, then if you go there, this recording is where you'll find, excuse me, that is where you'll find this recording if you need to just look at it later or share it with a friend or a coworker in your office. So we're gonna get started. So here we go. I'm gonna start sharing my screen because there's a lot of material to cover. So let's just get started. Okay, so the easiest way we are gonna start. Wait, let me desktop two. Okay. I like threw me off on what desktop I'm sharing. Okay. Um, Here and gallery view. And you got the chat, right, Mitz?
Yes.
Got it. So to sign into 21, excuse me, to sign into MoxieWorks, this is the standard way that it's done. So we're just going to walk through the process. So you're going to go to 21online.com. And of course, we're going to go into the sign in section. Hopefully it'll just let me in because I had already logged in prior to get ready for this training. So bear with me if it's a little slow. There we go. So the easiest way is you work down to the right-hand side, top right-hand corner, where it says menu. And for those of you that have not joined the Facebook global group, please do so and have your agents do so by clicking on this Facebook icon. You'll answer a few questions just to verify your Century 21 agent, and then you'll be admitted into the group. This is where we post whatever training we're doing. So if you're wondering, hey, is there Bob doing any particular training coming up? That's where we post it, just because it's basically only for Century 21 agents. So back to the menu, you will work your way down to Productivity Hub. And then if you scroll down, this is all in alphabetical order, down to Moxie. Whether you click on Moxie Engage, Moxie Impress, Moxie Present, or Moxie Website, it'll take you to the same landing page. Just so it doesn't matter which one your agents do. They can click on Engage. What it's going to do is going to land you right here. It's going to land you to the same landing page, which is your Moxie profile. Then from here, the agents can decide which information they want, which account or tool they want to use. If there's any information on here that is not correct and you cannot edit it, it has to be done by your admin staff. So if your email is wrong or if you need to add your social media account, please let the staff at your brokerage know. They have to put it into Dash. And then within 24 hours, it'll sync over to this portal. So what we are going to is Moxie website. So when we click in here, my account's already been set up. So typically what'll happen is I'm gonna switch to my personal account. I don't want to start tweaking the brokerage site. It took me long enough to put the darn thing together. So this is where most of them will land. But originally, the first screen would come up to where if the agent has never logged into my website, it'll ask them to come up with a name, which will be the prefix to .sites.c21.homes. They will choose whether they want their first last name. If it's available, they accept it, accept the terms and conditions, and it'll drop them right here. One of the things we do at our brokerage when I have brand new hires, is I'm not sure of how many of you are aware of MoxieWorks education website. So I always have our agents, and I put it in the chat, go to education.moxieworks.com, which is this portal right here that you see on your screen. They go in to sign in, even though they don't have an account, and at the bottom it says create an account. The cool thing about this portal, it has getting started videos, and they're really cool because they're broken down into segments on Moxie Engage, Moxie Present, and Moxie Website. So what I typically do, if there's any brokers here, I always have my new agent says, hey, I need you to go into Engage. Of course, they want to get their website set up. I said, no, you need to understand Engage because the minute you set up your website and you start sharing and you get a lead, you're not going to know how to manage the lead since all the leads route into Engage. So Moxie Engage is what I tell everybody, you need to learn Engage. That is your CRM. That is where you're going to start putting, when you set up that account, your contacts from your Gmail and your phone are going to start syncing, and you need to know how to manage these people. The website is pretty easy to set up. So this is where I go. And then Moxie Present, of course, one, they want to learn how to do presentations with buyers and sellers. Really, really cool. And it's 100% free. They sign up. They pick which one they want or all three and go enroll, and they just get started. So this is, like I said, for Mitz and I make everybody go in our brokerage until they've watched all these. I do not spend any one-on-one time with them training them. Because the thing that happens is if you're trying to train somebody brand new, but they don't even know what tool is, it's really hard for them to understand and keep up with you because they don't know what it is. So, but if they at least watch the videos, so what I do is I set up their Engage account, we set up their website account, and I make them go here. Then once they've had a chance to look around, then we meet in person so I can answer questions if they have any, which helps. So we're going to go back, Moxie Education. Remember that one. Okay, this is your main landing. Well, not that one. Get out of my brokerage account. Okay, agent, admin, tool. A lot of information. And on Moxie Education, that first video on website actually breaks down this entire page. Really cool. But we're going to go over it because it's super important to understand. So if an agent followed this menu system right here, it'll help them after they watch the video because what it says first, it says, hey, do you want to personalize your style of your website? So what that means is that if they click go here, it's going to say, do you want your website to be, I'm going to change mine out, search focus, which will look like this way, search focus, because my picture's at the bottom and the search module is right on top. The agents may decide, hey, you know what? I want to agent focus, not search focus. They switch it over and hit publish. And then if I refresh my account, it looks like that. Some people are happy. They're like, hey, this is good. I'm not even going to mess with my website. I just want to share it. I don't have time to mess with it. At least some people will enjoy this look and feel. That's fine. It still has featured properties. It still has a little blog or a little video. And they're like, hey, all I'm worried about is sending somebody where they fill in what they're searching for, what they're looking for. The third option, custom, is if you created a custom homepage. So I create, see, these are all the pages I have created on my personal account. So if I switch to home, which I call my home page home, and I hit publish, then if I refresh it, this, if you notice, now just became my home page. So now I created a page, and this is where now this is my home page. All depends on the look and feel. This, of course, we have to create custom. Um, it is not hard, but it's not easy if you don't understand. But we're going to go through some of that. So that is the appearance layout. Sometimes in the header section, right under appearance, it says, hey, you have a header. That's the default header, which is right here, flat on top. I actually like that because typically on my brokerage side, brokerage account, I put the logo right where the video is. But you may decide I want brokerage focus, logo in the middle. If I was to click that and hit publish, then this will switch that way. The logo goes in the middle, the address goes on the left. All depends on how you want your header to look. If you're going to do that, you probably don't need a logo in the middle. So see, that's already a different look and feel altogether just by switching. But of course, it's a custom homepage. So let me go back to a standard homepage. Let's say this is the agents only kept it agent focused. See, it put the logo up on top and that. Now, if we go back and say header, these are all the different options. Logo on the left. I want it slim. Do you want to make the background transparent? What background color do you want? What text color do you want? And then you work your way through these until somebody decides, how do I want my header to look up on top? So see, right now it was goldish color up in the top, but it's transparent. If you notice, right here it says transparent. If I uncheck that and hit publish, it's gold. It's not transparent. If I don't want that gold, you come in here and says, well, you know what? I don't want the Century 21 gold. I want that black. I'm going to change the color to black, publish it, refresh it. Now we're here. All depends on little tweaks an agent may want to do. Some people may be like, hey, this is fine. That little tweak, that's all I need. I don't have time for this. This is what they can do. So this is how you mess with a header. Down under, I'm going to put mine back to default because I'm going to get all confused. I'm going to put it back to default. And I am going to put my homepage layout back to my homepage. Great. Then there's a footer section right underneath homepage layout. So if I go down here, see, this has the company logo, has information in here. So if you go to footer, because the footer needs to be set up, usually it'll say default. The agent will switch to custom and hit edit custom. When you do that, now you're going to be editing your footer, the bottom of your website that shows up on every page. This is my logo, and you go through and edit this information how you want it. Those of you that want to learn more how to do that, please reach out to me because this is not something that we want to do in this training, but I just want to show you where everything's located. So you understand that, hey, this is what I want to do with my website. Is it possible? Watching this, you might think, yes, it is possible because maybe there's other things I want to do. But for this training, we're not going to cover that. But please reach out to me if you do want information. I'd be happy to help. Can you change the font color? The the font color in the header, Shanna, would be if you did, let's say this way, this is where you change the font color, the text color here. So if I decided I wanted the Century 21 gold, hopefully that will show the way it's supposed to in the footer, oh, in the header, sorry. See, it shows gold. And if that's what you wanted, then this logo, it's white, you'd have to switch that out. But then you can switch this to gold. So, but that's all.
Bob, we
That's
got a
not
quick
for,
question.
go ahead.
Uh, there's a question. Is your custom homepage coded on the back end? I find we are restricted with WordPress.
Um,
Not-
no, you're actually not. Yes, there's certain restrictions in Moxie Works because, and trust me, if I was running Moxie Works, I'd put restrictions too. I know real estate agents, they will tweak the heck out of something and never manage it if it goes wrong. I mean, you're lucky if we can get my agents to even update their computers, for God's sake. Okay, so Moxie is locked down to a sense where somebody can't just go and do something that's going to cause a security issue because all of our websites are all through that same portal, same server. If one gets affected, potentially the rest of the computers, the rest of the websites can get infected. But it is very flexible on what you can do. This was a custom page. It wasn't coded. It was visually set up. I'm still working on trying to come up with a new layout, but this was not coded in any way. It was using just the Beaver Builder default layout and setup. And you'd be surprised what you can create once you understand how to do it. But that'll be another training. So let me get back to training real quick. So that is your appearance. The home page button right here that says on the left-hand side is basically this is your current home page if there's any settings you want to do. We're not going to mess with that one yet. Site pages right here, that basically tells you this is all the pages I have on my website. So if we look here, go done. Let me get out of this footer. And let me put the header back to default. Go back home. Here, okay. Now we are going to site pages. What site pages says is, hey, home, about, under about, I have appointment, my bio. Under properties, I have property search, commercial properties, mortgage rates. So if I look here, here's home. Here's about me. Under about me, I have appointment, my bio, but this about me, other about me, and connect with me, and my other bio, because I'm testing things, and this testimonial are not showing. Those four are not showing because if you notice, I selected to hide them. I have the pages. They're still visible if I share the URL with somebody, but it's not visible in the menu. So this page right here, connect, if you notice under about me, is not there. But if I go to view, it's there. I didn't want to show it in a menu. I use this page for training because everybody's using those Linktree and all of this stuff. I said, well, technically, if you create a page and you create it the way you want, and I share a QR code to land on this page, now I got my own personal Linktree, but it's on my website where the clients can decide they can learn more about me, search for property and stuff like that. So I was experimenting on how to do different things. That's why it's hidden. Whenever you take a menu item and you drop it in the main row, like testimonials, it'll show up in the main menu. Whenever you drag it over one, it'll show up under About Me, one over. See how I have my bio here under About My Bio. If I choose, I can go bio and move it over one more. I can only go 3 layers deep. So if I do that and hit publish, and go home. Now I go to about, to appointment, to bio. So what that does, it helps you start organizing your menu system as you start visualizing how I'm going to build my website. Because if I just create it, every page will show up along the top, and next you know, you're going all the way to the end, and you're like, and there's a more button dropping down. So visually, when somebody's building a website, you should already says, okay, I want to create a tab called resources. Under resources, I want to create one that says buyer seller. And then in that, I'm going to start putting links or pages into those till you work your way through. So like in here, I got agent templates. It says Fresno. Here's the page. What it will look like is a link to our Fresno for my Fresno agents. And then agent template, template link, etc. So you create it that way. Buyers, buying and selling, and here's tips. So you're organizing. If somebody's doing an open house, they go here. Do you want to set an appointment? Go here. So that kind of thing. So when you're working on your site, that's where site pages comes in. If you're working on the site and you don't want nobody to see it, just hit the button that says hide. It'll hide it. It's always there for you, and it's always there for whoever you share the URL with, but nobody can see it visually in the menu system. Okay. Then images is a no-brainer. It's just basically images. This is where you upload all your pictures, whatever you want to upload. I have 251 images. You just drop them all in here, whatever you're doing. At any given time, when we have images, and I'm going to go to one of them, because this is a test account. No, I haven't done it on these. Picture. No. Okay, well, I'll just use this picture. One of the things when you're uploading pictures into Moxie or anywhere, you want to make sure, I'm going to use this picture, This file URL says it's under Bob Patel slash files dates, but it is called 4.jpg. Ideally, because this is my test account, when you upload a picture, you should rename that file to whatever the file is. So don't just put it in and say, okay, it's just JPEG 2 or 2851 or image dash 142.jpg. Don't upload that. Right click on that file, rename that file for specifically what that file is. Remember, this is going to also show up in Google Images, and Google Images is somebody searching for a home with a beautiful backyard, blah, blah, blah. Your image may come up based on what you put here in this alt description. This is going to be the title. Your file name should be the name of that file. So if it's my picture, it should be Bob Patel, real estate agent serving Tulare County. That's the file name. Because now that file has my keyword. My name, I'm a real estate agent, Tulare County. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I don't lose anybody on this. So that becomes that. Then, of course, the title could be the same thing. Let's say that was my picture. Yes, Bob Patel, image of Bob Patel, real estate agent with Century 21 Jordan Link. Google says, wow, thank you for a descriptive image. I understand exactly what that photo is and how it's going to benefit my consumers. The kicker is this alt tag when you upload an image. You got to tell Google what is the description of that image for anybody that's visually impaired. Because remember, a lot of those individuals have software that it actually will read to them as they go through what that screen is. And Google doesn't see that picture. It doesn't understand when it's reading your contact because it sees code, but it looks and scans this to says, oh, thank you. This will help my customers that visit your website that are disabled, maybe visual or whatever it is, that they'll understand what that picture is because they can't see it. Does that make sense to everybody, hopefully? So if it
Yes.
does, and the easiest what I have figured out how to do this is if I right click on an image and go into, well, everybody's got to use AI. So if you go into Chat GPT, I am going to log into my account. And excuse me if you see a whole bunch of conversations going. I'm going to show you how to get the right verbiage that you want per image. Hopefully it'll load. Come on. Uh, Come on, Bob. Okay. So when you're having a chat conversation, this is a side note, but it's going to help you. First thing that you want to do, and ignore all this, please. If you want to learn more, reach out. But this is another animal. First thing you want to do is you want to say act as the always the first thing you do when you ask AI something that you want from it, you got to give it a role. Act. So I'm going to say act as the top digital marketing expert in California. Okay. I need you to give me the ideal alt tag for the attached image and file name, please. Just in case you're like, "Hey, I don't know what to name this file." And then I am going to, since I right click, paste that image right into chat. So I gave it the image and I'm going to hit enter. ChatGPT is going to scan that image and hopefully it doesn't get all sidetracked and it's working. We are having problems today. There you go. So, gave me a file name. It says a file name should be luxury tropical home infinity pool sunset JPEG. Like, holy Moses, I just got the perfect file name. So what I would do is I would rename that file. I would copy that and rename that file on your computer and then upload it. So now I got the perfect file name that is for this picture, and I can also give it the title. So it's got a title, it's understandable. If I go back in here, it gave me an alt tag. It says luxury tropical home with an infinity pool, tiki torches, and a lush landscaping at sunset featuring an open concept living space and palm trees. I bet none of you could come up with that in about 10 seconds flat. So we're going to take that, put it in the alt tag there. So now when Googlebot scrolls it, it sees that if somebody with ADA compliancy can't visually see that image, they have software that reads the screen, it'll describe that image to them. Google says, thank you for being so responsive for my consumers that have ADA issues and start bumping your website up higher. So it really, literally take no time once you understand what you have to ask AI to do. And then now that already has a title and a description, and you typically go through every single one of these images. I know it takes time, but if you do it as you go along, you have no problems. Image map, I have not figured out, excuse me, what that image map does. I spent half the day a week ago trying to figure out how to use this thing, and I was stumped. So when I figured that thing out, I will do a special training because I think it allows you to put heat maps onto an image that you upload. I just have not figured it out. Custom search. For those of you that actually says, hey, on my website or on a page that I'm creating, I want to put properties for a specific area because that page is for a city. So I want to create a page to showcase, let's say, Visalia, California. And I'm going to put a description right up because it makes sense to have content, but I need at the bottom, I want to showcase properties that are just in Visalia, California. So what it's saying is you need to create a custom search. The way that works is you go to search. I am going to go to Visalia, California. And why are you slow today? Come on. Visalia, California. Search.
You literally need to do that. You're wasting your time. Your time is precious. Hire someone.
Okay. Well, we're a little slow today. That's ironic. Never had that issue. Why today of all days? So we're going to let it load. When it loads, what you do is you figure out, okay, I'm in Visalia, California search page. I'm going to filter the search by 350,000 to 600,000, four bedroom, two bath. And on this particular search, I only want to show homes that are townhomes, single family residence. I don't want land. I don't want this. I don't want this group. I want multifamily. And then what you do is you save the URL that shows up right here up on top. Um, wow. Why am I having a problem today? Never had that before. Okay. Once you create the search criteria, whatever's in this URL all the way in the top, you copy it. You copy that into because that URL is sending person. If somebody clicks on it, will send them to that exact page that you're working on, filtered by price point, bedroom, bath, and what type of property. You take that URL. I'm going to just open up this one and you paste it in search right here. It's long because this is what I told it. I want this for all of Visalia, California. And all you do is in front of this was my website address. And typically it would have been bobpatel.net slash HTTPS, of course. So what you do is you remove your website address and everything up to dash you keep. Then you give it a title and then you hit save. Well, not going to happen today. So you save that, and then you can add that custom search into any page that you want. So if I was to show you how to do that, and hopefully it will load, let's say we're creating a brand new page, and we're going to call it Visalia, California, because I want to do a full write-up, but for training, I just want to put that search criteria in there. I am going to put that, hit enter, so it saves the URL, bobpatel.net/Visalia.ca. Perfect. I'm going to hit builder for now, just for this short training. And I am going to go to module to widget. The reason why it's a widget is because widget pulls data. The other ones you add data. Because it's a widget, it pulls information. So I am going to I'm going to click on widget and see agent. It'll automatically update profiles, blog, contact me, custom search, all of this. I want custom search because I created a custom search. So I drag it over. It says, hey, what do you want to call it? Featured properties in Visalia, CA. EA. And yes, I want to use that search that I created. I want it to show 2 rows for each. And when they go next, show another 8 up to 80. Then they have to hit see all and then take them to another map. Then when you hit done, you hit save. And I'm going to hit done. And hopefully it works because it's acting funny today. And that's how you get those particular search criteria right here. So then I'll go back eventually to the top part of this and add a text box and include all the verbiage that I want to include. But you can create unlimited pages like this for every neighborhood that you want to specifically service and target, which makes sense. Now you may not want the road that way, so you go back to Builder because you're like, oh, it's too narrow, Bob. Yeah, it's narrow. I know. So what you do is you take these end handles on the end and you decide how wide you want it. You just adjust it. So let's say you want it somewhere around here. If you wanted a text box, you can say, okay, I want a header up on the top, all the way by itself in a new row. If I add it here, see how that blue matches the length of this one? It'll automatically become the same width. If you do it here, you're creating a brand new row where you can adjust it whichever way you want. I want to do that just in case I want to edit the text. So here you can put in about Visalia CA. So this is a header title. I can tell it that I want it centered. I can tell it I want it medium bold. I can tell it I want the font size higher. And then now I have this. Then I can grab a text box here, give it another row by itself because I can go. And in text box, I can put all the content that I want. That content will show up right there. That's basically how you build it. So that's what a featured module does. It really helps you customize whatever you want to do. So let me get out of this before I get all into designing a complete website right now. Property list is you can create a list for yourself that would show up under here. Property search, commercial properties, but you can create a list, say, "Oh, you know what, I want to showcase my sold, I want to showcase my active, and then you can add those to the menu. Okay, that's what property list does. Links, you can create links that you can add somewhere, links to Exeter, Farmersville, Tulare, Visalia, and tell it where you want the links to show. Blog post is a different animal. We're going to skip that. Your bio goes here about me. And this social, this is where you would add, if you can, you would add your social media accounts in here. But these are all added through Dash. So you're going to have to give whoever your office admin is, and they're going to have a little bit of work to do. Just email them the URLs. Instagram, here's the URL. Facebook, here's, and they can just copy and paste it, add it into Dash. It'll sync over into this portal. And then of course you got some of your other settings. So it is a lot. And one of the things that most people forget to do is if you notice right on the top, it says search engine blocked. Most people will never uncheck that box. That means if Google bot or Bing bot goes at your site, it will not index it because you've told it block search engines. So the only reason you do that is because you're building your site. So you don't want it to index the content until you have it ready. To me, I would do it. I would do as soon as I start building a custom homepage and set it as my homepage, and I'm going to build the rest. I would tell Google start indexing because you know what? As I'm building this, I want you to keep updating all the data as I go along. Instead of me waiting 3 months to let Google search it when it could have been indexing my entire site all the time. So you would click this box and go to the bottom. Right here it says discourage. You would uncheck it, then hit save. Boom. The other thing that nobody will ever typically will go into is this bottom left-hand corner that says SEO by Yoast. So if you click on that one, it says, hey, this is your dashboard. You have no problems. Great. These are the features. Do you want to do all of this stuff? And then this is your webmaster tools. This is where you would put in if you're going to use Bing search engine, Google verification, you want to do it. I have no idea what Yandex is. You would do those in here, set them in here. Search appearance, social in here. So you go in here and says, okay, this social search appearance, it says, okay, if I title separator, I want to put a dash. Okay. Or I want to put a dot, or I want to put a line by title. You decide. Typically, the default is always best left alone. Content type, it says settings for single post. Do you want to show the post in URL? Yes, I do. Do you want a date in the snippet? No. So all of these defaults are always fine. I would not touch them, but you just want to make sure eventually down the line as you learn more and somebody gets in here and starts editing it, then at least they know what they're doing. And then you have other tools down here, importing, but I would not have any of your agents mess with the SEO part unless they know how to change their settings the way it's supposed to, because if not, they can create a negative effect on their website from being crawled. So that's a basic overview. Does anybody have any questions so far, Mitz?
Yeah, Shanna had a question. She said she made some custom searches and they didn't appear on the sites. Maybe you might want to unmute her and see if she can ask specifically a question.
You really want me to unmute her? Go for it.
No. Okay, so I set it up on my site, and now I'm on a different agent site, and I don't know if I must have missed a step. So I created the search, but when I go under, to look at the site, I don't see the searches there.
Okay. So you went just like this as you're looking at it, right? You went to whatever city, zip code that they want, and then you go
Yeah.
through and you decide you're filtering bedrooms, right? If that's what you want to do, because some people may want to showcase luxury homes, because
No,
maybe,
I did like
yeah,
a open houses this
okay.
weekend search.
So let's say Visalia, California, and then I'm gonna do open house in person or virtual coming up in a week. Let me see what I got. So I got three for me. Okay. So let's say we want to put this on a page for open house. Okay. You're going to copy because you're not going to be filtering by price or anything like that. Hey, I just want to showcase all open houses. So you're going to copy this up on top. We are going to go to your back end. We're going to go to custom search.
Mhm,
We're going to add a new. Add new.
mhm.
We are going to paste that entire URL that I copied and come back to the top, take out my website address,
Right.
put in the title, open house, let's say, and then save. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if I go back to that Visalia page that I was working with, let me go back to that page. It's at the bottom. So I'm going to go back to the Visalia page. I'm going to launch the builder because maybe somebody wants to put regular properties and they also want to showcase open houses. So
That's
as soon as it loads, there's that featured properties. I'm going to come here to plus go to modules, to widget, to custom search back. I'm gonna make it so see how it's blue with the bottom one? So they become together, they'll be the same width.
Mhm.
Drop it there. And this is gonna be open houses. Let's say that's what you want. And I'm gonna select open house. And the bottom one was a 1 and 4, so I'm going to keep it consistent, at least 4 across. I can set it to 2 just in case there's 6, 7 listings, and then hit save, hit done, and publish. And there's my 3 open houses. And then here's my featured properties for the same city. So
Mhm.
this could be something that somebody wants to do. Says, well, Bob, this is getting a little long down here at the bottom. Well, then you go to Builder and says, you know what, let's keep everything to a single row because you know what, they can search for what they want, but you're just giving them a tidbit. On Visalia, I can go back to Visalia, says, you know what, just make this a single row so I don't have a page that's too long. So then the open house will be a single row and this will be just a single row. And then of course your content goes on the top if that's what you want. And that's helpful if somebody's just working one area. They say, hey, this is my bread and butter. And or maybe this this page, if it was me as a real estate agent, because I understand marketing is a subdivision. Maybe somebody's going after an exclusive area in your market says, I need to do whatever I can. So if you create a page on that exclusive area, and put it with content-rich information and then submit it to Google, you could potentially have your website show up when somebody's searching for that neighborhood because you got a page on your website that talks about that neighborhood. And what if somebody lands on that page and now they're like, oh, okay, let me look at this home or let me look at any one of these homes that are specific to that neighborhood? Because you can create this search only for that neighborhood if you wanted to, only for that subdivision. And the way you do that one, well, not to get sidetracked, but I think it's important, is let me go back to Visalia and to property search. Is come on, don't be slow. It always happens on a Thursday, Mitz. Everything goes on standstill when we're doing
Yeah, we
training.
have another question for you after you finish this task.
Go
So
ahead. I'm waiting for it to load.
it loaded.
No, here, I'm waiting for this to load.
Oh, okay. Do we have the ability to force visitors to register after looking at so many homes? Okay.
That's actually a bad thing. You'll get people not wanting to visit your website.
Okay.
But if you give them content, and especially if they're loyal to you and you give them what they're looking for data-wise, but forcing somebody to register, I would never go back to that site.
Yeah, Shanna, that the open house idea was great. I think I'm gonna add that to my
Mhm.
website.
Yeah, I figured out what I forgot to do. I forgot to create the page.
There you go.
Anybody else have any questions while this thing is loading? I just might as well just unmute everybody if I can figure out where to get you to all unmute. Participants, if you guys want to unmute yourself. Tammy, you're awfully quiet over there. Do you need to have a question?
No,
No.
no.
She's shy
Thank you for
today.
asking, though.
Kimberly, you doing okay?
It's too many people.
Oh, you want me to just have half of them, just remove them from the call? Okay, no question. Okay, so what you can do is let's say you want to focus in my town, Visalia, California, Northwest Visalia is probably where they say is the up and coming. That's where everybody basically wants to move or live. So that would be acres. This little section right here. So if I go to draw, quick draw, I can draw this line and come up through here, that. It will show me if there's any properties. Let me get rid of um, this, reset the filter, and let me try it again. And one of the other areas is the lakes in our neighborhood. Come on, move. You not moving. Okay, let me draw this area. Let me just get this area right here. So now it's actually bigger, but it wasn't moving earlier. You could actually embed this section only because that is that exclusive neighborhood that you are trying to market to, or a particular town in Visalia. That's how you would filter it that way. You can use the map, or you can decide I want to do a custom search, which is 12 miles from my office in a circle. Then you would do the same thing. You draw a radius. But in here, you can also have an option of multi-tool. So let's say you work, let's say Tammy, you work in two markets you want to showcase because that's your bread and butter. So let's say you market two different neighborhoods. So one, you can says I need to do a draw, but I need to do a quick draw. The draw, you hold the clicker down and you move it around. Quick draw is different. You have to click, click, click. You don't drag. The regular one draw, you drag it. I'm going to do this one neighborhood. Okay. Then I'm going to zoom out and I am going to go back to see this button right here. The hand lets me move. This little icon right here, look like little, allows me to draw the second shape. So I click that one and then I go to, let's say here, here. Oh, you moved out. Shame on you. I know where you are though. Here and here. Now I got two. So now if I copy that URL and post it as a custom search, it'll only showcase properties in those two neighborhoods.
Well,
Just,
Bob, I think
yeah,
Kimberly's got a question for you.
go ahead. What's the question?
Oh, Kimberly, I think you're muted still.
Go ahead, Kimberly. Won't let me ask her to unmute.
Oh, I can't unmute her either. Was it hit the space bar? Yep. Let's see. Let's get Kimberly's.
Um, yeah, it said they can unmute themselves, but couldn't tell you. Do we want to put it in chat if you don't mind?
I think she's going on. Kimberly, I think you're still muted. Can you put it in the chat for us, please? I think maybe I had to move on, Bob.
Okay, so does anybody else have any questions at all on just an overview on a Moxie website, or is there anything anybody actually wants to learn in depth, anything related to Moxie tools? Mm, wow, you guys are too quiet. Buddy.
Well, I don't know if you guys have looked yet, but the new
I,
Moxie Present has a lot of
There you
new
are.
presentation slides. Okay, go ahead.
I do. First, thank you for this because it's very helpful.
You're welcome.
But I do have additional questions. So I don't know if I should ask you offline, but I do have a question when it comes to the Moxie campaigns. I know we are driven with the website here today, which I did ask an additional question regarding your LinkedIn style, the Connect with Me page. I asked you, let me go back to my message. I said, did you create the Connect Me page through a landing page? And also, can we make our contact page a little bit more creative?
Yeah, then you would have to go to create a custom page.
Okay.
So just like we have, this is a custom page.
Mm-hmm.
you would create a custom page on About Me.
Okay.
So there's a million things you can do with Moxie. I'm not sure if this is the page. This is the account that I have a test that I was doing. Preferred vendor. No. But you connect the connect one that you saw when I was looking at like a link tree is actually just a page. So make it short and simple. You can reach out to me after, but show somebody. Basically, what I did is I went in and said I want to create a custom page. I'm going to call it Connect with Me. I'm going to go to Builder. I'm going to drop in a 3-row column, 3 rows. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to adjust the center, because by the time I go through and move this website over, I want to make sure that that middle row shows up when somebody's adjusting. So in here, you put in, says, I need a photo. Says, what picture? I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick Monica. Hi, Monica. I know you're on the call. Sorry. We are going to say, I want Monica in a circle. She'll drop in a circle look. Then, of course, I can adjust how I want it. Then I would come in and says, I need a button here. This button, I want it to be full width of that row, just that column. This is going to be for LinkedIn. And of course, then you set all the parameters on styles and that stuff, what you want. Then I want another button and I want another button and you add a button. And then you just keep adjusting it until you're like, okay, now it looks perfect on my phone. Now I can just right click on Google Chrome, create a QR code, and send everybody to that when I do an open house or something. I mean, I could show it more in depth if you guys would like to learn. We could schedule a training on how to actually create this thing and create a same thing. What we did is the same thing that how you do this is what we did with, I need to get rid of that page. Open house. So I know there's new rules and regulations, but I was trying to figure out how to get people to sign into an open house. I said, well, I told Mitch, I said, what if you created a QR code at the front door and says, please check in, scan QR code. When they scan the QR code, they will land on this page. They fill in this information. Hopefully, by the time they make it in the door, I'll get a text message. I got a lead, which is hopefully the person walking in the front door. If it's not, if it takes a little second, but at least another that data, whoever came into the open house, their information is in Moxie Engage. But then you have to filter it how you want it. But this is the same thing. This is a 3-column row with this contact form in the middle. And I told the background, I want this image and I want it that long. There's a million things you guys can do. It makes it easier for me if somebody in there says, hey, this is what I would like to see because everybody else would like to see, and then I can schedule a training. So Tammy, can you please come up with some ideas because Shanna will just keep talking.
I guess I had a question. What is, or what are some of the most important things that people should do on their website, number one? And like, I guess as far as like regular maintenance, like what should they be checking on a regular basis to make sure that things are good?
There is no maintenance. That's a cool thing about the Moxie platform because it's managed by
Mhm.
Moxie. So every other place that you had a website, you had to manage it if you built it on your own. You had to update the WordPress, update the server, update this, and this. In Moxie, there's nothing for an agent to update except content. Content is king in Google land. So if you build a website today and never touch it for 6 months, your website is going to rank to the bottom. Because Google says, hey, Shanna, I went to your website, but I've kept going to your website, and after a while, nothing ever changes. So why am I going to keep visiting you? Google will not come back. So the idea is to start a website and then gradually start adding content little by little, rephrasing the bio, uploading a picture, adding something else, creating another page, adding more content, little by little, spending 5 or 10 minutes a week, technically is all it's going to take. Um, the other thing I don't want to get into SEO because that's another animal, and I'll lose half the people in this call. But yes, just keep your website constantly updated and constantly sharing. Because if you don't share it, nobody knows it exists.
One
Put it on
one of the
every.
weird. Oh,
I'm
go
sorry?
ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead.
Oh, one of the things that I see on a lot of people's websites that I kind of like, I think they let lapse is like how long they've been in real estate. Like people will say, "Oh, I've been in it for 10 years," and it's 10 years later. They've been in it 20, but their website still says 10. A trick that I learned from another person online was that put the starting date of when you started in real estate. Then you never have to change how many years you've been in it. I've been in it since 92, so that seems like dinosaur age now, but I mean,
That
like,
is
it's
dinosaur
just,
age.
yeah, whatever, man. You don't have to maintain it anymore. So that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, guys.
Anything else? Because we got to get off.
I just have a general question.
Yes, go ahead.
So maybe I missed this in the beginning because I was having trouble logging in. But like once I start doing this and creating the website, can people see what I'm doing? Like once I start loading things or creating it, like
So
is
your
it going to
question
be
you're
out there
asking,
for people to see and
your
I'm not
website,
done?
your website is live the day you activate it. It is live, whether it's your name,
So there's no way to shut it down until I'm done. It's once I start, it's on. Okay.
the only thing you
Unless
can
you
do
hide
is discourage search engines, but I wouldn't do that because you want even old content to be up, to Google to index it. But most people think, hey, Bob, can you activate my website? I say, it's been live for 2 months. It is live.
Okay.
But ideally, if it was me and you start working on your website, I would start sharing. Hey guys, I'm super excited. I just started working on my website. Would love for my friends and family and everybody on social media to check it out. And then as you update content, share it. Hey, guess what? I just finished my About Me page. Let me know what you think. And start sharing it so people will start visiting. So Google says, hey, what's happening with Tammy's website? There's about 22 people that went this week and nobody last week. And let me go index her website and go and start cataloging. And then it says, oh, she updated it again last week. So now Google bots will start visiting your website every week.
So
And
as I update it, that's actually a
the
good
more
thing.
you update, the more it comes visiting. That's why if you notice all those blogs and stuff online, they got so much content. 'Cause the more they update Google, it re-indexes all that data.
Okay.
And is that what bumps you, I guess, higher up in searches? So if I go in and Google Century 21 Shanna, the more
And
I
then
put on my
sharing your
website, the more
URL
I'll screw it
everywhere.
up. Okay.
Yep, and sharing your URL everywhere. Google My Business listing, your email signatures, anywhere that you can put your website address, share it anywhere.
About the bio, because like here we have two websites, and so I had to create two bios. Can I use one of them for this? Or does it have to be completely different?
Not exactly understanding the question, but you could reach out to me. The
Like
Zoom,
I have a bio written on the websites that the company has here in Myrtle.
right?
And we have two. So they said I had to create two different ones because of, I guess, something with the analytics or something with that. I had to have two separate bios. So I was wondering when I first started thinking about this, I thought, do I have to create a third bio? Does it have to be different than the other ones that are on our other sites within the company, or it doesn't matter?
I
We were
couldn't,
told something similar.
yeah, I couldn't tell you until I actually looked at your website to see why you would want, or if you couldn't, because sometimes brokerages have two DBAs. So they have two separate brokerages, technically two entities. So they don't want to showcase this entity with information regarding this brokerage because they have two separate entities. I honestly couldn't tell you, but you're welcome to reach out to me. That Zoom
Okay.
ID that you use to sign in is actually my
Mhm.
cell phone number.
Oh, okay.
So
The old
559-300.
Sorry, the old, any old Century, how there used to be so many different Century 21 websites for all the agents.
Yeah.
I think in our office, it seems like each agent had at one time maybe three different sites. Are those going away? And I think what she was saying is what we were told is, some of the I guess the corporate Century 21 site, that if you make your content a little bit different than that, that it'll affect the, I don't know, searches or something. Does that even make sense?
I think
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, but we now are strictly on the Moxie platform versus if you went into your brand what is it?
C21 sites.
Yeah, if you went into your C21 site, you had the C21 site, then you had the Moxie website. So they
Yeah.
sent an email saying that the Moxie website will be solely the platform that we're using.
Yeah,
So
the C21
technically,
sites are going away at the end of March.
yeah.
End of March. Okay. Because I was like, I just had an agent come up to me yesterday and she's wanting to know like why do they say different things? And you can't even edit the one site at all. So
Yeah,
it's
that's why the
yeah.
Moxie platform is once people understand what the potential is, you can do amazing things on that platform. Look,
Hey,
it's fully
Bob, I'm gonna have to
customized.
get off.
Okay.
We got
All right.
another class, so
Got it.
Thank you. All
Sorry,
Thank you.
guys. Tammy, if
right.
you have any questions, reach out.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.